What's up? This is Q from HipHop-Album-Debate, the podcast. I want to talk about this topic that's been trending on the net for a while, for a couple of days. Uh, Rap fatigue. Yeah, rap fatigue. This topic came about because there's no hip hop songs in the top 40 Billboard charts. And it's been that way since, I'm sorry, hip hop hasn't not been in the top 40 since 1990. That was the last time that has happened. And so a lot of people have given their opinions on why and what they think. A lot of people I respect, a lot of OGs in the game. A lot of people point to quality. A lot of people point to uh, oversaturation, among other things. I mean, they making some great points, but the real reason, or is one critical reason, hip hop is not in the top 40, or people starting to admit to rap fatigue, is it was going to happen anyway. It was guaranteed to happen. It was inevitable to happen. And reason why I say that is, well, all you have to do is go back and look at the history in music, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Jazz was the number one genre throughout the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. Rock and roll was the number one genre throughout the 50s. Pop was the number one genre in the 60s. And who led that? Well, around the 60s, you had Motown, you had the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, what they called the British Invasion, which there were other British groups as well. Um, and then you go into the 70s, you got disco, funk, and soul. Those were the top genres, right? Okay. Then, pop again. Pop in the 80s. Who we got? Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince. I think this was the most balanced genre because, I'm sorry, the most balanced decade because you had pop, soft rock, soul, and funk. Soul and funk was still hanging around. R&B um, was starting to be more uh, front and center as opposed to just soul music. And then you had the emergence of hip hop. All right. So who ruled the 80s? I'm sorry, who ruled the 90s and the 2000s? Hip hop. 2010, what was the number one genre? All right. So hip hop. Y'all thought y'all was special? We thought we were special.
You thought you were special. You really thought you were special.
Man, look, let me tell y'all something, man. I hate to be the bearer of bad news or sad news or whatever, but it was going to happen anyway. It was going to happen anyway. Evolution. America's music was jazz. Back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, teenagers used to go out on the town. They used to go party. They used to cut a rug to jazz. This before Uncle Luke. This before uh Two Live Crew and Miami bass and Atlanta booty music and all that. Yeah, jazz was the number one genre, and it switched. Hip hop, I think we've reason why we've had a as long of a run as we have. I think it's the subgenres, and people criticize, especially people like this from the 80s and the 90s, which I'm an '80s baby. I was born in '82, so I'm right there. I'm a young buck. I got the older cousins playing the LL Cool J, the Rakim cassettes and records and all that. So I'm right there. But you got a lot of the OGs, man. They wish that it would have stayed like that, but it couldn't have, because the vast majorities of the songs we were talking about. I mean, the vast majority of the songs back then, we were rapping about rapping. Who could rock the mic? Who could rock the crowd? Who could move the crowd? Who could rock a party? I mean, it's only so long you can listen to that. You can't listen to a rapper talk about how he can rock the crowd for 40 years, or he the coldest on the mic. You dig what I'm saying? You got to find something else to talk about. So unfortunately for hip hop, we ain't gonna say unfortunate. It is what it is. It went from that to the street topics and the over sexual topics and but it also had the consciousness. It also had you know, G funk and hyphy, crunk, all these different subgenres extended the life of hip hop. Where now we all asked out. What else is to talk about? I mean, yeah, you get tired of pulling up on the ox and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it seems like these last few years of hip hop has been kind of like disco. I'm a big fan of disco. I love disco music, and disco didn't last long. And it's crazy because you can go talk to an OG, and they can either say, "Oh, I hated disco," or "I love disco." But it didn't last long. Disco got the popping around about 73, 74, and it might have peaked out around 80. I mean, we all know about the incident of the demolition of disco at the Chicago at Wrigley Field Stadium. Shame on y'all. Y'all wrong for that. But okay, when I give an example, I talked to two OGs that was born in the 60s and party in the 70s and 80s. Two of them. One hated disco, the other one loved disco. And you know what was ironic? They both said the same thing. I talked to one, man, how you feel about disco, man? Oh, I hated it. Damn, why you hated it? It all sounded like. It all sounded like. Damn, okay. Talked to one. Hey man, what was your thoughts on disco? Oh, I loved it. Okay, well, if you loved it so much, what happened? I mean, why didn't it keep going? It started sounding the same. It started sounding the same. So they both was said the same thing. I think with hip hop, I think that's what has happened. Starting to sound the same. There's some good music out there. It's people talking about some stuff, but it's not really getting to the consumer. And the older generation, just say like mine, is 40 and up, we not really searching for music the way we used to. So if it doesn't find us, then we just, it is what it is. So at the end of the day, music is a young man's game. Hip hop is a young man's game. There's no way around that. But somebody that want to listen to substance, again, it has to find us. But how is it gonna find us? We too busy listening to what we already listen to and accustomed to and was vibing to. So that set up the segue for where we are now, in my opinion. So all this rap fatigue and all this, I mean, people was making some good points, but they forgot to mention a critical point. It was bound to happen anyway. I say we need to thank God that it lasted as long as it did, because hip hop had a good run compared to all the other genres that was making good music with substance and still holding up to this day. And they ran their course. You thought hip hop wasn't gonna run this course? We're not exempt. We're not exempt, fam. I'm just giving you the real. All the other stuff makes sense. Quality, all that. Uh, satu- uh, s- saturated, all that's a factor. But it was going to happen anyway. That's just the way it is, fam. Y'all let your boy know, man. Y'all agree? Y'all disagree? What's y'all thoughts? Rap fatigue. Do you feel that way? Maybe those statistics doesn't speak for everybody else. The billboard doesn't speak for everybody. Y'all let your boy know something. All right. This Q, 3 words. I'm gone. Peace.